Good morning. Good morning. Right back like we never left. A Tuesday edition of the W Show. Q,
Yeah.
we normally here on Saturday mornings, man.
Yes. Half sleep.
Yeah.
Still getting the sleep
I'm
out of
always awake,
eyes.
but you the one that's half
Yeah,
sleep.
I'm always dragging in from debauchery.
The Friday night before, huh?
Yeah.
We have a special guest in the studio with us. Reid, two-time Super Bowl champ, man. How's it going?
Yeah. I'm happy, man. Happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
Bring me back on the
We always say what's better than one? Two.
Look.
show. What's better than two?
Yeah, what's that?
Three.
Yeah,
Three.
That's true. That's true, man. So how's off season been going for you?
Yeah, a lot of traveling. A lot of good stuff. Building on all fronts. My foundation.
Mhm.
That's been growing really well, really rapidly, and it's just the vision of it is really coming together on how we can expand and really help a whole lot of kids get access to technology and STEM and resources, and then also for me on the personal branding side, just a lot of trips there. So been
Mm.
racking up flight miles all over the place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you guys you introduced the computer science camp last summer. And you're bringing that back this year, man. You talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man, it was awesome last year, and each year that we're doing this, we get a little bit better at it. We have
Mhm.
more resources. We have a faster, streamlined thought process on how we're going to get things done, how to organize. And we took what we learned from last year, what the kids really enjoyed, and focus on that a little bit more. And also part of that process, we were like, it'd be a lot more beneficial to the kids if we, extend the days but shorten extend the length of each classroom day
Mhm.
but shorten the total length of the camp. So that's how we're improving it this year, and I'm going to move forward on that. Going to have a lot of production from it, and
Mhm.
excited about just keep tightening the screws on all of this and making it really efficient to help kids that are looking for the opportunity.
And for people that may not know, just talk about the tech portion of it. Why tech?
Yeah, so the tech part is important to me because it kind of follows my life a little bit. I was born just outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Mhm.
It's not exactly Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Didn't really know how to type coming out of high school, but then ended up going to Stanford in the middle of actual Silicon Valley. And I felt like a fish out of water at first, a little bit behind, maybe a little bit intimidated
Mm.
being there. But upon being exposed to it and just going and sitting in some of the classes, it actually wasn't that hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like intuitively, you just kind of pick up on it, and it wasn't as intimidating as I originally thought it was. And I would have never known that if I wasn't exposed to
Mm.
it. So for me, seeing the difference between those two worlds from where I grew up in Baton Rouge and then Stanford University, and also noticing that really the only difference between kids where I grew up and kids here is just the access to resources. That
Mm.
really not much else is different besides that. That just highlighted to me that how important exposure is. So it motivated me to try and open the door for more kids in underserved areas, allow them to get over some hurdles, and you know just that exposure component, teach them some engineering, some STEM concepts, some civil engineering stuff, urban planning, a bunch of stuff that we're just really excited for to introduce kids to, and have their minds start thinking about ways that they can build a successful career later on in their lives.
You mentioned that urban planning too, man. They could use some help trying to figure out where they're gonna put this Royals baseball stadium. I tell you that.
They could use plenty help.
Man.
Talk about the Christmas programming you had. There was some some different events, fundraising and different things, but you had a couple of different events with the kids. Talk about the impact that Christmas programming had, because this was your first time doing that
Yeah,
this year.
this one was, we try and touch on all fronts. So that one was
Mhm.
fun, to where we had some kids come out, and it was a fun day. They got to play with some robotics. They got
Yeah.
to build actually their own miniature robotic. It was
Mhm.
kind of like a DIY kit. We purchased a bunch of kits that came with some instructions there to build some miniature robots that
Mhm.
just tinkered around and stuff. And then we had a virtual reality station. We got to put on like some version of an Oculus.
Yeah.
And then we also had some robotics teams bring some cool stuff. And the biggest highlight of all of this too was there was a family there that touched our heart with the way that they carried themselves and the life that they lived. And you know, they were just really in need of a vehicle in order to get around. The father was working his tail off to try and provide for the family, and they came across some misfortune with some accidents that happened with their
Mhm.
vehicle, and they're just struggling. And We saw an opportunity to help out for a family that really deserved it, and we got him a car.
No,
You know,
definitely.
so it was just it was a great moment and great day.
No, definitely, because then that fortune came right back around in February, huh?
Yeah, we were all celebrating.
Yeah. Now, who was it that while you're growing up that you saw and was like, man, I kind of want to do that, give back, like that person? Did you look up to anybody?
Yeah, it was really my parents, man. My parents set a strong foundation for me and all my brothers because they always just kept us very grounded and aware, of how lucky we were. And we weren't raised with a silver spoon in our mouth, but just even for what we did have, how lucky we were to have that.
Right.
Roof over our head, didn't have to think about what we were going to eat for dinner that night. You know what I mean? Because our parents just always had food on the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just little things like that, and have the social awareness of how lucky we are to be in that position. And and you pay that forward. You give a helping hand. When
Right.
Katrina hit Louisiana, my dad hitched up a trailer and we went around the neighborhood and we just
Oh, really?
clean up debris in the neighborhood. Just simple things like that. But it created a lasting impression about just being community oriented and helping out. So from that, I take those experiences and also take the experiences of me playing sports and some of the mentors I've had in my life and how they've helped me. And I can't do anything to help them back. They're already set, and but what I can do is pay it forward.
Yeah.
I can pay it forward to the next generation. So I take that to heart, and that I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, and why Kansas City? Because you could go anywhere, man, and do things, but you chose to do it here.
I love the way that this city has embraced me. I love the philanthropic spirit. I love the way that this community comes together.
Yeah.
And just like everyone here is community oriented. Everyone's willing to help out. I didn't know what Midwestern hospitality was until I moved here, but it's definitely a real thing. And I just love touching places that touch me. So in every city that I've lived and been to, I try and keep a fraction of myself, fraction of my foundation there, to continue to support that city because they supported me.
You also have a golf tournament coming up too, man. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I've been working on my handicap, man. Yeah, bro. I got the golf bug pretty good right now, man. I try and play as much as I can. So, with that amount, I just thought, man, how cool would it be for a current player to do a golf tournament? Because you got former players that do it, and other groups that do it, and all of them are awesome, so fun to be a part of. But I thought it'd be a little bit different for a current player to do it.
Yeah.
Right here in Kansas City, you get to interact with some of the players, interact with some of the coaches and staff, other Houston, I'm sorry, not Houston, other Kansas City locals, other professional athletes, players that are around. So I thought it'd be a fun thing to put together, merge my passion of playing golf and also my passion of raising money to go and help these kids in the community. And we're doing a $2,500 a foursome for those listeners that's out there that want to come and participate. It'll be a fun day, June 17th at Oakwood Coaching Club.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what date is it again? So people can sign up?
Yeah, June 17th at Oakwood Country Club. You can find all the information on the foundation's website, jreidindeed.com, or also on our socials at jreidindeed on Twitter and Instagram, just to keep up with the latest and the greatest.
Yep.
No, definitely.
No sponsors, man. No sponsors that's out there, man. Reach out to us. Reach out to us.
Nah,
definitely. Some cool activation stations that you can put your team and your logo on. So
definitely, because you had some lively sponsors, especially over the holidays. So it was cool to see a lot of them in the fundraiser that you had. But piggybacking off of that, what I wanted to ask is, you've been doing J. Reid Indeed for quite some time now. Like, you've done it over the span of a couple of seasons. Has it come to a point where you're kind of like a mentor for other guys in the league, and not necessarily on the team, but like even just other guys in the league that kind of see like the things that you do?
I really enjoy helping those who want to be helped. You know what I mean? Like, if I see that you have that hunger in your eye, like you just want to know more information, because information is power. Right? You know the rules to the game, or the right people, or the procedures and protocol, you can get things done a whole lot quicker and easier with a whole lot less heartache if you just know the right people and have some guidance. You know what I mean? So that's how it was for me. I love helping out the young guys. I was talking to one of the young guys today, two separate conversations. One of them was about him wanting to start his own foundation.
Oh,
And I
nice.
gave him a rubric on how to do that and
Yeah.
some steps that he could take. And the other one was on thinking of yourself as a business. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you're not just an athlete, you're an independent contractor, you're a businessman.
Mhm.
So think outside of the world of athletics. You know, always take care of your business on the field first. But there's a whole lot of opportunities for you to build for life after ball. You know what I mean? If you're lucky, you finish at 35, man. You got
Right.
another 35, 45, 50 years, you know what I mean, of life to go. So it's like you want to plan for that while you're the most popular kid in town too, a current Super Bowl champion. So I just encourage guys to take advantage of that.
And even piggybacking off of you saying like the current champion, because now you've done it back to back and you've looked at yourself as a business and you've carried yourself in that way. How long did it take you to adjust from, you know, starting out in the league and then really getting your feet wet in the business
So
and the foundation space?
My first year, 2 years, all ball.
Mhm.
All ball. You know, it's a big adjustment coming to the league.
Definitely.
In your pocket now. Everyone's coming at you for a bunch of different things. And it's just a transition period, where it's just important to make sure you take care of what's important first,
Right.
which is the football aspect. You know what I mean?
What got you there?
You want to eliminate as many distractions as possible and find your footing and be successful in that. But the longer you do things, the more you can do it without thinking about it. You know what I mean? So the longer
Exactly.
you're in the league, the longer you do any profession, it just becomes easier with time. So around year 3, year 4 is when I started thinking about it. Year 3, I just started meeting a lot more people, shaking hands. Really just trying to find mentors and ask questions. Year 4 was kind of the same thing, but after a year of asking a bunch of questions, you start saying, okay, well, let me start trying to dabble in a little bit. Let me be a little bit more involved. And then after year 5, which we started doing J Reid Indeed in year 3, in the middle of year 3. But then after about year 5, year 6 is when the accumulation of all the knowledge you picked up over the previous 4 years and the contacts you've made, you really start seeing an avenue to use all of those to build something special. And around that 3rd, 4th year is when things start to take off. I mean, we just now got partnership with Microsoft,
Nice.
based on what they've seen our track record the last couple of years, and they want to equip us with tools to scale large pretty quickly now. This big time sponsor behind us. And with those tools, this is just going to accelerate quickly. And that's kind of the same path for all types of business. You know what I mean? Those first 2, 3, 4 years, it's just about breaking even, about making connections. And then after that 4th or 5th year, you put in the hard work and you keep grinding hard. Things are just going to start taking off. So it's exciting to be at this point. It's a lot of positive momentum, and we're just going to keep building.
And then one more leg to that question. You talk a lot in a team sense. So talk about how important your team is, like even in that growth that you talk about. The first couple of years you focus on ball, but then when you start making a decision to become a business, to start a foundation, talk about the importance of the team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Let me give a quick shout out to my manager, Tamara Washington, over there, and also my executive director, Alana Murray, in the building with me. They've been spectacular for me over the past couple of years. I couldn't be luckier. But you can't do it yourself. I mean, the faster that this thing grows, I'm a highly detailed person, but at a sense, you have to start giving others responsibility and uplifting them and equipping them to go out and continue to do things and grow too, because you can't be at 100 different places at once.
Right.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So not trying to overly control everything, but also put things in the vision of a team, because everyone brings different aspects to the table and different talents, and being able to put people in the right seats to use those talents are all extremely important. You know what I mean? So nobody can do anything on their own. You need to build the right team around you. And when you finally get those pieces in the right place, good things start happening.
Definitely.
And you mentioned the young people coming to the league thinking of themselves as a business. How much, and we talk about it all the time, just the NIL deal is the new college athlete. How much does that help, like the young people, from what you've seen, the young people coming into the league?
Yeah. Well, positives and negatives is still kind of the wild, wild west with it. So it kind of remains to be seen. But, in some ways, I guess it helps in the sense that guys have that exposure a little bit sooner. So hopefully by the time they come to the NFL, it's not as new.
Right.
And they can really start using the NFL to start building a little bit quicker. And they've already started thinking about themselves as a business. So in that way they can help. But I just think there needs to be strong guidance, man, because I mean, you're giving money to kids sooner, which they deserve. I'm all for it. You know, I'm all about athletes of any age using their name, likeness, and getting compensated for it. But I think there needs to be some level of guidance, just to make sure that they're using it in the right way and not being taken advantage of, both for them and their parents. If they just haven't had that financial education on how to handle that type of money coming in their pocket all at once.
Definitely facts.
And we talk about the young people, the draft coming up a couple of days.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to for the draft? And do you remember your draft night?
Yeah, I won't ever forget my draft night. Yeah. I mean, my favorite part of the draft is, I don't keep up with the names anymore, but I love hearing the stories of guys that overcome adversity and what they've been through to get to this moment, and to see the beginning of their dream, not their dream come true, the beginning of their dream to come true, because we don't just try and make it to the league. We want to go out and dominate in the league and leave a legacy. But I love seeing the stories of guys get drafted, get their name called, the raw emotion that comes with that. For me, I got to kind of go through it twice, which is really special, because I got to watch my older brother go through it.
Right.
And we did the whole Radio Row, Radio Music City Hall thing in New York. In the green room and everything. And then for mine, I wanted to do what I thought was going to be an intimate draft night at the house, but my mom invited 200 people. You know what I mean? And just, so
it was a party at that point.
It was just so cool. You don't know what's going to happen. You're waiting and you see the names go by, and then you get a phone ring, and it's from a number you don't recognize, and then you answer. You don't know who's on the other side of it, and then the head coach will introduce himself and say that he's taking you with whatever pick. And oh man, it's just it's an indescribable feeling, and then it's just a celebration after that. You really enjoy it. You won't ever forget it. And then 2-3 days later, you're flying out to whatever city drafted you, and you're thrown right in the football, getting ready to go.
Nah, and 200 people, that sounds like Mardi Gras all over again. Just a couple of months after. So
I had people wearing all types of everyone was wearing different jerseys on what team they hoped they drafted to. It was cool.
Nah, that's real cool.
That's super dope, man. So how can people get in contact with you? How can they find out if they want to learn more about the camp or the golf tournament?
Camp, golf, everything J. Reid Indeed. If you want to support, you want to donate, you want to volunteer, all that information will be listed on the website at jreidindeed.com. That's jreidindeed.com. You can also find more more content on our social pages at JReidIndeed on Twitter/X and Instagram.
We definitely appreciate you giving us some of your time today, man.
Yeah, bro,
I appreciate it, man.
For sure. Now, that's Chief Safety Justin Reid, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Chief Safety Justin Reid.
Yes, sir. About to be 3.
Catch us here on Saturday with more from the W Show. We out.
Peace.